Podcast, episode number 96. My name is Ian,
Derek.
and this time Rob is away for a little bit. But we have his picks. We're fine. Um, crazy UFC 293 weekend. But before we start, let's talk about Tyson Pedro versus Anton Turkalj. What a nasty cold knockout, bro.
Yeah, that was insane, dude. And the celly?
And the
The
Selly.
celly was almost as cold as the knockout, bro. The sheathing the sword celly is top tier, bro. That's crazy. But yeah,
um, it's weird for Tyson Pedro because it's like this dude can either get first round knockouts or he's struggling throughout
yeah,
3 rounds. So it's hard to see what Tyson you're gonna get, but I love seeing Australians win in Australia.
me too. Me too.
Um, do you think Tyson deserves top 15, or is he just not yet at that point?
To fight top 15
Yeah,
or to I don't think so. Give him one more.
one more.
I think give him one more before you give him top 15.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, light heavyweight is kind of, I'm not gonna say shallow, but like there's like the top 5 or 10 guys, and then there's everybody else kind of
yeah,
at light heavyweight right now.
yeah.
I think give him one more guy.
Hmm. I agree with that. Like I just said, I mean, we don't know which Tyson we're gonna get. So, um, next up, Justin Toffa gets his revenge fight against Austin Lane. Gets the first round knockout. What'd you think about that one, dude?
Man, I picked Austin Lane because um, early on in the UFC, Justin Taffa had trouble, longer guys that are
Mm-hmm.
gonna point fight him. I thought Austin Lane was gonna keep his distance and strike with him well. Even in the little bit we seen of like the first encounter, it kind of looked like Austin was like
Yeah.
on the outside moving really well.
Mm-hmm.
So Austin looked good, bro. But like I kind of knew as soon as like Justin Taffa was doing a good job cutting off the cage
Mm-hmm.
and then throwing that big right hook. I was like, oh my god, if that
Yeah.
lands, and it did, and it did soon, early. Good on Justin Taffa, man.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, Austin Lane looked really good for those few minutes that they're fighting.
yeah,
It's cool seeing mobility from a heavyweight. But Tafa channeling his inner fucking Mark Hunt, dude. I love it. I love it.
yeah, it's sick.
um, in the flyweight division, I loved Manel Kopp in the presser and the pre-fight post conference. He gets the win over Dos Santos, but Dos Santos looked really good.
Man, Dos Santos for a dude that came into that fight, you know, not a full camp, was 7-0. Real promising things
Mm,
from Dos Santos.
yeah,
That a dog, just
yeah,
a literal dog. Cobb was striking as beautiful.
yeah.
I mean, was landing beautiful counter punches, but Dos Santos was just eating them and kept coming forward.
Mm.
And yeah, banger.
Yeah, man. Manel, he's just ready. I'm sure he's so tired of the amount of fights that he's had canceled on him because of
Right.
fighters pulling out. And you kind of saw that energy in the press conference where he was calling out City Kickboxing because Eugene Behrman has said like Duplessis doesn't deserve a title shot because he's pulling out of injury. Like City Kickboxing fighters don't do that if there's a championship fight. Now,
Mhm.
obviously, the fight with Kai Car France wasn't a championship fight, but you're kind of being hypocritical on yourself.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about that too. Like, I think championship fights specifically are different circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're in the top five, top 10, especially in the UFC, they're very picky and choosy. Just because you're the number one contender doesn't mean just because you're ranked number one does not mean you're gonna get that next title shot. So
Yeah.
I could see why guys want to be more conservative. But if you're actually fighting for the belt, guys fight through injuries all the time. Like
Mm-hmm.
who just fought through it? O'Malley was talking about. He
Yeah.
didn't wrestle for 6 weeks. Uh,
Aljamain was fighting through
Alderman
injury.
before that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the belt, when it comes to the belt, I can understand fighting through injury. And how
Mhm.
about that post fight press or that post fight interview, dude?
Dude.
What was in the water, bro?
I
What was
know,
in the
right? It
water?
was like two. It was him and Radke that dropped
Yes.
the same word. Damn,
What are
dude.
we doing?
DC was over it, bro.
Did that get brought? You think that got brought up at the TKO group today or what?
Oh, for
That's
sure,
gonna be.
bro.
We can't be doing it.
Yeah. We'll talk about that shit later. Yeah, Manel. I'm sure Dana's gonna want to book that Manel versus Kai Car France fight. I'm sure that's gonna be an amazing fight too. I'm down to watch that, and I love the villain that Manel has created himself to be
I do
for
too.
the flyweight division. In the Coleman event, Alexander Volkov gets the Ezekiel choke on Tai Tuivasa. That shit was so cold, dude.
Dude, I don't know what it is about the heavyweight division. Like the top 10 dudes at heavyweight, it's
Mm,
like rock, paper, scissors. Like you think like this dude has the skill set to beat this. Like, styles make fights.
yeah.
And like I for sure thought Ty was gonna end up catching Volkov. Volkov's been caught before the Derek Lewis fight. Um,
Hmm.
but man, dude, that's cold, dude. In MMA to hit that is crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, who's uh
Olenek.
Olenek?
Yeah.
Yeah, Olenek really kind of made it famous, but
Hmm.
to hit that in MMA is insane.
I felt bad for Tai Tuivasa, man. He did
Yeah.
look good. I mean, the leg kicks were definitely working. Before in the podcast with Rob, I was like, if Volkov wins, I wouldn't mind watching a fight with him and Gon. But like
Mhm.
seeing how stationary Volkov was during that fight, I think it'd be an easy night for Gon if that fight were to happen.
Mhm.
So I think if Volkov can just be a little bit more lateral in his movement, it should be a good fight. But poor Tui, bro. I just want to see him get a win back, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and then the main event, I don't think one person besides Chris Curtis and the Extreme Couture team knew that Sean Strickland would win. I cannot believe it. What were your initial thoughts on this fight?
After the first round and seeing like Izzy get knocked down, Izzy had said something. I forgot what fight it was, but a previous fight of his where he said he was talking about somebody where he's like real fighters know the difference between an awkward fighter and a guy that doesn't know how to fight.
Mm,
Like guys that know how to fight, like it's their first day in the gym, whatever. But awkward fighters give guys problems, especially like very traditional, like Adesanya, very traditional, beautiful kickboxing. Like everybody can see it, passes the eye test, But
yeah.
you see Strickland, and it's very stiff, very awkward. Everything's very. But that's how he won that fight.
Mm,
Like Izzy sets up everything with the leg kicks. He
mm,
couldn't land a leg kick to save his life. The stats will say that he landed leg kicks, but literally Sean would walk forward and check them. And he's not doing anything crazy. He's just raising his leg.
mm,
But Izzy can't do not landing the jab, not landing leg kicks. He doesn't really throw like a lot of power punches. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like he doesn't blind power punches. So he had no opportunity to set up anything.
Mm,
Dude, Eric Nixick for coach of the year, bro.
dude. Yeah.
That like you could see the game plan. Like you could see Sean working the game plan throughout the fight. And man, that Eric is my coach of the year, man.
Yeah.
Awesome for Strickland.
Mm,
I'm sure the UFC will want to book the rematch, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
yeah. Um, Watching that fight, so I was working the whole night, and so I had to rewatch it after, and I made sure not to check any socials, not to read your guys' texts, and I just could not believe um, that Izzy could not find a way to hit Sean Strickland. We kind of thought our predictions was that he was just gonna do what Alex Bejeda did, where Sean would just push a little bit too forward, too aggressive, and then the defense would kind of just fall on him, and then he'd get caught. But like, man, Sean did not get hit once with a power shot enough for it to be like, oh shit, Izzy might turn it around or something.
Defense.
Yeah.
That might have been the best defensive striking I've ever seen. It was insane, bro.
Um.
Another thing too, like I think I don't like it. And I'm not. I don't know what the plan was, what's going through Izzy's head. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But to me, in the second and third round, there were a couple times where he almost looked like he was trying to do the same bait move that he did with
Yeah.
Pereira. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that rubbed me the wrong way, especially when you're already backing up the entire round.
Hmm.
You're already. It looks like you're losing the fight, and like at the end of rounds, you hear an Eric Nixon say optics, optics, and Sean is winning those rounds already. You know what I mean? Like uh, that should be your. If Eric is if telling Sean optics, that should be your cue to, hey, maybe I should take some advice from him, and I should be trying to win the end of this
Hmm.
round. But
What does
yeah.
optics mean?
So optics, pretty much, what he was trying to say is that what judges remember the most is probably the last 30 seconds, last minute of the round. So
Gotcha.
you want to win that last minute no matter what, whether that's a takedown, a flurry, anything like that. You want to win that last minute because that leaves a better impression in the judge's
Right.
mind.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, he was not doing that at all.
Um, it's unbelievable. I think another story to this fight is that during that in between the fourth and fifth rounds where Eugene was talking to Izzy, I kind of wanted to see a little bit more urgency from Eugene saying, like, what the fuck's going on? You need to turn it up. Like, bring some emotion out of Izzy, you know?
Yeah.
We've seen, like, Izzy versus Kelvin Gastelum. You see
Hmm.
Izzy in the fifth, going into the fifth round, he's like, I'm ready to die. Like, I'm prepared to
Yeah.
die, you know? So we just didn't see that. Eric Nixon was doing a great job talking to Sean about just motivating him even more. He was fighting a great fight. So I just wish, and I know that Eugene is a calm dude. Like, he's not usually one to be like that. So it's kind of
Right.
understandable. But you are losing 3-4 rounds to Sean Strickland,
Hmm.
and this is your legacy. This is your legacy fight.
Yeah. I think especially after, man, I don't know. It just looked to me like, and I don't know how his camp went. I don't know
Hmm.
how they trained or anything, but it looks to me like,
Yeah.
like they really just didn't plan for Strickland. I think they overlooked Strickland.
Yeah.
They thought that what they've been doing is working, so why change it?
Hmm.
And I think it showed.
Yeah.
I think it showed. Um,
And
yeah,
I
even
mean,
like between the fourth and fifth round, like they're arguing. Eugene and Izzy are
mhm,
arguing in the corner. That's not a good look. And I did want more urgency, especially after the knockdown. Like,
yeah.
I know it's at just the first round, but every round from the in between, it should have been go. Like it's
Yeah.
time to go, but
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, hats off to Izzy. That dude fights 3 times a year,
yeah,
if not one more extra. So
mhm,
that dude is one of the most active champs in the UFC.
for sure.
But yeah, I do get that feeling that they kind of overlooked Sean Strickland. They wanted to be that main event for Sydney, which is understandable. But man, another thing I loved about Sean was how patient he was. He did catch him in that first with the straight, and he was wailing on him. And then maybe like, I don't know, 12 punches in, he realized, I cannot take this dude out. I'm gonna back up, not waste my energy, and then just fight my fight again. So
Dude, good
man.
job by Mark Goddard, dude. Because a lot of the
Hmm.
time, referees get all the slack, none of the praise.
Hmm.
And I feel like in that situation, everybody's like, "Oh, why did he stop it? That's not what I would have done." But good job not stopping it. I
Right.
was watching the fight, and it's so much easier from the outside looking in than it is in the actual cage.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, I would have stopped that fight.
Yeah.
I would have
Hmm.
stopped that fight. I was like, "Damn, like this fight is about to be over."
Yeah.
Jumped on him and was wailing on him.
Yeah.
And then Izzy ended up making it through the round. But yeah,
Hmm.
good job on Mark Goddard, man.
Yeah. A lot of frustrations from my side though, man. Um,
Yeah,
just Izzy, like, I don't know, man. If Robert here, I'd tell you that um, you never met James, but we used to like spar with James, and he kind of does this like stupid like cool shit. Like he thinks he's cool, like Street Fighter thing, and Izzy
yeah,
was doing that the whole fight, and I'm like, dude, like your feints aren't working, your leg kicks aren't working because you're constantly moving backwards. You're on your heels the whole time. Like it's time to just show why you are the champion. Like push forward as whatever you can do. Just do something to put fear into Sean Strickland for a little
Yeah,
bit.
man. One big thing that I was really confused, and again, is a world
Yeah.
champion, is a world champion in MMA and kickboxing. You know, I'm a nobody, bro.
Yeah.
But one thing I was very surprised on in the first round, at the start of the fight, Strickland was biting on literally everything,
Mm-hmm.
like literally every leg. I mean, I think that was the plan, to check those leg kicks and to make sure when Izzy switches stances, he was kind of throwing that overhand left, and Strickland was kind of covering up with like a high guard, and like to me, it just looked like maybe if he threw,
Front kick.
if he doubled up on
Mm-hmm.
like all of those strikes in quick succession, maybe some of them would land because Strickland is literally raising his leg up to his hip
Yeah.
to check those kicks, and then it comes back down, and then throw that leg kick again.
Yeah.
He's not
Right.
going to bring it. He's not going to bring it back up again as he's walking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It just looked like he wasn't ready. It looked
Yeah.
like he didn't expect Sean Strickland to come out and fight like that.
Yeah, I mean, he did the same. Izzy against Costa. Costa would eat a leg kick, bring his leg back, and then as soon as he takes another step, like once that step hits the ground, he's throwing another leg kick. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
he knows what he was capable of. I don't want to call it an off night for Izzy. I think he just was completely
Yeah.
shell shocked about Sean Strickland's pressure. You know?
Yeah, I think Sean Strickland won that fight.
Yeah.
Izzy did his part in kind of losing that fight, but more so Sean Strickland won that fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, uh, with Izzy losing, I forgot who said this. I just seen this quote, but Duplessis might be out of a title shot. Might be out of a title
Yeah.
shot, dude.
That
I
too.
think without Izzy, the hype is not there, and I
Mhm.
think over Izzy, the winner of the Hamzat fight is probably going to fight.
Crazy.
Unless if they don't do the rematch,
Uh huh.
if I don't do the rematch, I'm
Giving
Sean
Hamza.
Strickland is going to fight the
Yeah.
winner of the Hamzat fight.
Yeah. So with that being said, I know we talked about champions getting an immediate rematch. What kind of constitutes a rematch? In my head, of course, money wise, yes, Izzy makes sense, but because Sean Strickland beat him 49-46, all three judges, do you think Izzy gets an immediate rematch?
I think he will get the immediate rematch. I would like him. I mean, he's kind of cleared out the division, so it's hard to be like, oh, have him fight this guy or have him fight that guy.
Mhm.
Would I? Man, I don't know.
Because I mean, you are right. Like Dry Kiss versus Sean is kind of weird. You're missing that whole Africa battle for Africa storyline
I
with
mean,
Izzy.
make that. I mean, I would make that fight without the belt. I mean, I don't know how things would line up off the top of
Mm.
my head, but I don't know. I like that fight. I like Izzy and Duplessis,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm not sure. But I don't
Um.
think, in my personal opinion, I don't think Izzy should get the immediate rematch.
Yeah. I think so too. Um. I was just thinking maybe they can do a same card thing where Izzy and Duplessis is the co-main, and then Sean versus the winner of Hamza versus Costa. I think
Yeah,
that's doable. You know,
I like that. I like that.
man, I cannot believe this shit, dude.
Crazy.
Cannot believe it. UFC Fight Night, Grasso versus Shevchenko 2. Crazy that it's a fight night. Whatever. We'll look past it, Dana. But let's get into some lightning round picks. Starting us off in the women's strawweight division, we have Josephine Knutson versus Marniche Mann.
I
Marniche.
have Josephine by decision.
I will take Josephine by decision. Rob has Mann by decision. In the lightweight division, Alex Reyes versus Charlie Campbell.
I like Reyes by submission.
Yeah, I'll take Reyes by KO, and Rob has Reyes by KO as well. Tracy Cortez, the return of Tracy versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. Who do you got?
I like Tracy by decision. Shout out to Ortega fumbled the bag.
I'll also go Tracy by decision, same as Rob. In the flyweight, we got Edgar Chairez versus Daniel Da Silva.
Edgar looked mad game against your boy Tatsuro. I like Edgar by decision. And then, yeah, Edgar's opponent coming off 4 straight losses. He might be out of the UFC soon, so I like Edgar.
Yeah, I mean, Silva did look good against CJ Vergara for that round. He got gassed as hell, though. Hopefully he's smarter. I'm going to go Silva by submission. In the middleweight division, we got a banger fight: Roman Kopylov versus Josh Friend. Oh, my apologies. Rob also has Edgar by TKO. In the middleweight division, who do you got?
Kopylov is a dog. I got him by TKO.
Yeah. Both of us will also go Kopylov by TKO. And Josh Friend he just fought, so take some time, bro. And the women's strawweight for the main preliminary bout, we got Lupita Godinez versus Elise Reed.
I got Loopy by decision.
I will also go Loopy by decision, same as Rob. And in the main card, to start us off, Fernando Padilla versus Kyle Nelson.
I like Padilla by decision.
I'm gonna go with Nelson by decision, and then Rob has Padilla by KO. In the lightweight division, Daniel Zellhuber versus Christos Giagos.
Zellhuber by TKO.
I'm gonna go Zellhuber TKO. Rob has Zellhuber by decision. Zellhuber's nasty, bro.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah.
We can kind of break down this fight. In the bantamweight division, we have the return of Raul Rosas Jr. versus Terrence Mitchell. How do you see this fight going?
All right. I like Mitchell by decision. I think Raul Rosas should, in my opinion, I think he should go to one of the big camps. I think he should go to one of the big camps and train. His last fight, it kind of looked like he went in there without a game plan whatsoever, trying to grapple. Mitchell, very experienced, fought very. I would not give this fight to Rosas coming off a loss. It's crazy. I thought Rosas would be fighting some bum. Mitchell is not a bum.
Right. Yeah.
And one more thing, dude. I like Rosas, and I think Rosas can be great, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there are better young prospects you could be pushing.
Mm.
Like, I know I be dogging on Duplessis in South Africa, bro. Shout out to all the South African boys, bro. But Simon is a beast, is a dog.
Uh-huh.
I think he should be getting pushed just as much as Rosas. He's like a year or two older.
Yeah.
And he's a beast. His fights, he makes his fights look easy, dude. But yeah, enough about Simon. Mitchell by decision.
I'm still shocked that Rule is on a main card, given it's a fight night, but still, it's like, kind of take him out of limelight. Don't let the cameras be on him 24/7. Give him time to just train. Give him time to just prepare for a fight without having cameras in his face. I'm gonna go Mitchell by decision. I think he's gonna get big brothered again, just as C-Rod did to Rosas Jr. in their last fight. And Mitchell looked decent against Simon in that fight until I think it was like a reversal or something.
Mm-hmm.
I might be wrong, but Rob has Rosas Jr., I believe. Yeah, by submission. And then the welterweight co-main event. What a fight. We got Kevin Holland versus Jack Della Maddalena. How do you see this fight going?
I mean, obviously Jack looked horrendous, dude. Like his last fight. I can see where a lot of people would, maybe Jack squeaks out like a a split, or maybe like Kevin Holland gets a decision. But I'm gonna say Jack by late TKO.
Oh,
Um, ah, it. I'm kind of torn. Late TKO, or I think there's going to be some 10-8 rounds. I think he's going to come out very disappointed by his last performance, and he's going to come out looking real good, real sharp.
hmm.
So yeah, I'll go. I'm going to check Jack decision, but I'm going to say there's going to be some 10-8s there.
Okay, interesting. I I really like Kevin Holland's counterpunching. Jack isn't known to throw, crazy kicks or just even any kicks, maybe. He's more just that traditional boxer. So I think Kevin Holland's going to find some punches in between the exchanges. I just don't know if Kevin can handle the punches from Jack.
Hmm.
And I'm sure this is Jack's revenge tour as well. So it's hard to say, like, what we're going to see out of him, but this is definitely going to be a really good fight. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin tries to take him down. Maybe Kevin learned his lessons against Wonder Boy that he should utilize his grappling a little bit more. I'm gonna go with Kevin for the upset. I think Kevin gets him by decision, or he might just finish him if he can clip him on his
I
way
like
in.
that too. I
Yeah.
like that too.
And then Rob has JDM by decision. So Rob might see the same thing that you're saying. He might,
Yeah.
just pressure him too much to where it is those 10-8 rounds.
Hmm.
And then also Kevin hates cutting weight, so
Yeah.
this is gonna be interesting too because it is welterweight.
Hmm.
And then our main event, Alexa Grasso is defending her belt in the rematch against Valentina Shevchenko. Are you predicting the downfall of Shevchenko?
I'm not going to say the downfall of Shevchenko. I think Grasso wins a decision.
Oof.
And after this, I think Shevchenko moves up, and I think she does very well.
Oh wow.
I think there's a lot of fights to make there for her. I think her, I mean, she was the only one really giving Nunez any trouble at
Mm-hmm.
135.
Mm-hmm.
I think she can move up to 135 and have success there now that Nunez is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Grasso and I think Grasso has her number. I
Mm-hmm.
think Shevchenko is so good at so many things,
Mm-hmm.
but we've seen her so much. We've seen her so much that for her to consistently win these fights against these top contenders and top camps, it's almost like she has to evolve her game again and again and again because she's so good. She's won with it for so long.
Yeah.
Um, but I think Grasso has her number. Grasso by decision.
Damn. Um, yeah, I was rooting for Grasso in the first fight. I'm gonna root for Grasso again. And I think we're gonna see a little bit more dominance. I think we're gonna see Grasso win a couple more rounds than the first fight because she was definitely losing. It was close, but she was losing until that submission. I think Grasso wins by decision. Um, and I just like the camp she's coming out of. Her Diego Lopez, he's a killer, and then Aldana, of course, too. So I do like that move up to bantamweight because it will revitalize that division a little bit. It'll bring some more much needed competition as well. But yeah, you can't count out Grasso on Mexican Independence Day, bro. She got the power. Um, Rob has Valentina by decision. No shocker there. Rob is a big Valentina fan, and um, we're kind of counting out Shevchenko, but we're
I'm not
forgetting.
counting around.
Yeah.
Shevchenko, it's very realistic for Shevchenko to win this fight. I'm not
Yeah.
saying Shevchenko has no chance.
Hmm.
I think right now I'm not even 60-40, like a 55-45, dude,
Okay.
on Grasso. Um, but I do think it's going to be like I think kind of what we've seen uh, in the two most recent fights with Edwards and Usman. I think
Mm, I see.
where Edwards was losing, he got a late finish, and then goes in the second time, kind of gets already has the feel for them,
Yeah.
and is able to do better in that second fight.
Yeah, that fight was crazy where we just thought Usman would just wrestle the fuck out of Edwards again.
Yeah, man. After you fight somebody, if you've ever fought somebody and sparred somebody, and then you fight them again, bro, it's a completely different feeling
Mm-hmm,
because you kind of know their entire game already. You kind of know what they're gonna do, and it's so much easier to game plan.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I think because Grasso, I don't know. Grasso is planning for Shevchenko. You know what I mean? Like Grasso
Right.
planned for Shevchenko that first. I'm not saying Shevchenko didn't plan for Grasso,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of looked like that Shevchenko was just, going with her flow, going with her
Right.
usual style.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Yeah.
we'll see.
I guess it could be tough because Shevchenko's only mistake was throwing that spinning back kick or whatever. And
Yeah.
then that's when Grasso was able to. She knew that that's what she needed to throw in order for her to take her back or to grapple with her. So.
And by no means do I think Shevchenko is going to not throw. She's not. It's not like she's not going to throw any spinning strikes in
Mhm.
that fight. They're. I'm not going to say a staple, but there's something that she throws often, and I don't think in a 5-round fight she's going to be able to just completely cut those out of her game.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, good fight. I think Grosso's going to get the decision win. Um, that is it for UFC Fight Night. Grosso versus Shevchenko. It was just announced that the WWE and UFC are so they're already part of Endeavor, right? And then
Yes.
now, what is this whole TKO thing? Is that
Oh my
just
god.
the
You're asking the wrong guy, man. I think TKO and Endeavor are the same thing.
yeah, yeah.
No. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. You know how in
I think that's a
stocks,
label that they're
yeah,
calling. I think
yeah,
Endeavor bought is the ownership group, and I think TKO is what they're calling the actual name of the merger of the UFC and
gotcha,
the
gotcha.
WWE.
But I still don't understand why what this does for both of the companies. I don't get it.
I just think I think those companies already have a relationship, and I think it bolsters that relationship
Mm.
of fighters that want to go back and forth. Like imagine like a star
Oh,
like Conor McGregor going to the WWE. It would be insane. You know what I mean? Things
uh,
like that. I mean, I think Conor's too rich to go to the WWE, but you can see other superstars that are on the come up. Maybe a like a Tai Tuivasa would be sick in
oh
the
right,
WWE. A
yeah.
fan favorite that people like, something like
Whitaker,
that. Yeah, I think
Volkanovski.
yeah, I think we'll see stuff like that a lot more
Yeah,
often. Um,
interesting.
and who knows? We could get some guys from the W, some talent from the WWE, some
Right.
sleepers, dude. Look
Maybe
at Brock Lesnar.
we'll get Matt Riddle, bro. The return of Matt Riddle.
Not Riddle, dude.
Um, yeah, that whole thing is weird to me, but whatever. I don't understand it. I don't want to get into it and understand it, but what a crazy week of NFL games. I cannot believe Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, all these people laying fucking goose eggs and just shit in the bed week one.
Dude, it's crazy that you say that, dude, because just today, this morning, I was at Chiefs tryouts for a receiver, dude. They're uh,
Yeah.
they're looking, they're looking. They posted on their Facebook page. They're looking. So I'm all of about 5'8". You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I got hands, bro.
Yeah, I think it works out, dude. You can get the screen passes and just truck some motherfuckers, right?
So tragic, bro. That's so tragic.
That whole thing of Bo saying he thinking if you give him 2 years to be an NFL, what was it, wide receiver or cornerback?
No, he
Cornerback,
said
right?
I don't even remember what he said, but absolutely, I think he just said he could just be in the NFL,
Yeah.
even like as a special teams guy. Bo, there's absolutely no way. There's absolutely no way that in 2 years, Bo is 6'2", 150 pounds.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way.
He could even be a
Dude,
long snapper if he
you
wanted
could
to.
you couldn't even be a practice squad special teams member. There's no way.
um, yeah, man, going into this fucking fantasy draft, doing all my research as much as I can do, and just having my team shit the bed week one like that is crazy.
Man, I'm happy with my team, man. Let me see
Yeah,
who's the Snickers Player of the Week this week.
I think it's me.
Nah, it's who is it? Let me see.
Final standings. Oh, it's Abdul, Mabab's brother.
Ah,
Yeah, that dude has the worst team easily.
I tried to tell him, bro. I tried to. You got a white dude with cornrows as your RB2. I tried to tell him, bro. I tried to tell
Yeah, I was telling Joel, I was like, man, looking at everyone's teams, Rob and King have like the most solid looking team where each position can easily get them 20 points. Like one or receiver or one running back. And it was
Yeah, it's
Calvin Ridley for you, bro.
the Dallas
That
defense, bro.
Dallas
The Dallas
defense. Oh my
defense.
god, dude.
That went crazy.
Fucking hell. Cannot believe it. I love fantasy, but I fucking hate fantasy as well.
Yeah.
um anything else you would like to add for this
Um.
episode?
Nah, man.
Do you have any Camp Flogna outfits you got planned?
I got a couple
And
little songs, I might throw on or something.
me and my girlfriend will be matching. Um
Ooh, you guys both get a little
I,
New Balance or
I
what?
got my 550. She has
Yeah.
this nice little green and white little handkerchief scarf she's gonna pull off. I think we're gonna look
Okay.
clean, bro.
I got some 550s. I want to match with you too,
Yeah,
Ian.
dude, go ahead, bro. um, yeah. What is your song suggestion for today?
My God, man. I'm gonna go with "Come to Life," Kanye off Donda. It's a banger. I've been listening to it all day today. I feel like, but banger.
I'm gonna go with Tizo touchdown familiarity.
Yeah,
Bring it
excited to see
home.
Tizo at
I
Flognon, dude.
we saw him when Tyler had his "Call Me If You Get Lost" tour. He was the opener, and we're like,
Yeah,
"What the fuck is this? Like, this guy's crazy." But
yeah.
he has a couple songs that are like, "Okay, this is nice. He's
I've been listening
unique."
to him a little bit lately, like
Yeah,
within the last not too long, maybe like 3 4 months. But
yeah,
yeah, I like it.
not bad,
I like him.
not bad.
The
Um,
nails throw me off, but yeah, I like
I'm fucking pumped for Camp Vlog now, dude. I'm ready.
him.
Um, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting us. Next week we will be talking about our reactions for Shevchenko versus Grasso, as well as give our predictions for Fiziev versus Gamrot. Um, thank you once again. Peace out. The
Later.
double salute.